Okay, Coodinator once again on the program. Issues are reality. Today, I have a me. I don't know where to start. I can't call it a hobby. It's levels of who been coverage is like a nation. Also, it's more popular when it gets to the eastern part of Africa. It's not like African nation. When it gets to the western part of Africa, it's a human rights division. To be precise, an anti-graft. I mean, it's not government at all. I think you suspect that government or non-governmental anti-graft.
Anyone is okay, sir.
When in East Africa is someone else, when it's here in West Africa, it's someone else. He's the convener of elite of the Asia. So, if I'm not going to say, yes, Yoruba will say, we're doing the work, we're in charge of food. We have a lot of issues to unpack today. Only to our state and maybe if time professors will widen it up to the federal level. But let's start. Yeah. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm glad to be here again.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you will find my presence here to be helpful.
Yeah. We sure do. So the last time you were here, so it was about 2 years ago or even over.
Yes, that was in November 2022.
We talked about then. Your organization was going up and down, majorly about local government administration.
Yes.
Called you written letters, there was the advocacy and all this. But now that you're here, we have local government elected government administration complaint. Is that what comes up to the governor? How do you see it?
No, we can't give the governor any thanks for the local government election, because the conduct of the local government election was really not a response to the ruling of the courts that we had earlier expected. We took the government to court for dissolving democratically elected local government and replacing them with illegal TIC. And one of our prayers in the court was that the governor should, as a matter of urgency, conduct local government election. The High Court ruled in our favor. We won in court. The governor said he was not satisfied with the judgment. The governor proceeded to the Court of Appeal. Again, we won at the Court of Appeal. The governor said he was not satisfied again with the appeal court judgment. He proceeded to Supreme Court. As I'm talking to you, the governor, the case is still at the Supreme Court. So, meaning that if the governor had wanted to comply with the court judgment, he would have conducted the local government election, even if he wanted to pursue his right of appeal. An appeal is a right. We're not saying he doesn't have the right to appeal. But if you want to show good faith, that you want to respect the content of the judgment or the ruling in the judgment, you will comply with the judgment while pursuing other matters that you are not comfortable with in the ruling.
Exactly.
So that's what we felt that he should have done.
I forget the issue but I want to check that. Because Yoruba people will say,
the election was conducted because of the success of the federal government against the governors at the Supreme Court. You know, there was a case instituted by the federal government against the governors on local government autonomy. And because the governors lost at the Supreme Court, and one of the ruling in the court, in the Supreme Court judgment was that allocation from federal government will be going straight to the local government. And any local government without democratically elected local government council will not receive allocation. That forced most of these governors to go and do local government election.
He's saying that's why.
That is why our governor of Kwara State, Malam Abraman Abrazak, conducted election of local government in Kwara State. So it wasn't
a damning that you.
No, it's not an indictment. It's a public knowledge. It's a public knowledge. The government did not conduct election because of the ruling of the judgment between ENetSud and Kwara State government. The government conducted election because the governors lost against the federal government at the Supreme Court. And one of the ruling was that they will not receive allocation if there is no democratically elected local government. And because the governor doesn't want the local government to be without allocation, because he knows he will not be able to provide local government with funds. That's why they went to conduct election. That one is clear. I can say this anywhere. And they were given timeline to ensure that they put things in place to have democratically elected. So they work within that timeline. That's even one of the reasons why Kwasek went ahead to pronounce short notice of election. Do you understand? If you remember very well, the state government, for you to know they were not ready to conduct election, they took the Kwara State local government law, they took it to the House of Assembly, local government electoral law. They went to the assembly to amend it. They changed the notice of election, they changed it to 1 year. You remember ENetSud was against that.
It was 360 days.
It is still 360, okay, let's say 360 days, as you have put it. Right?
It is not a year.
No, how many days do you have in a year? 365 days. So, so what is the significance? No, in the context of what we are discussing, what is the significance of 5 days compared to 1 year? Are you getting the point? So the point I'm trying to make is that the amendment they did, we were against that amendment because we were telling them that the idea of changing it to 1 year or 365 days, whatever, howsoever you have called it, it is an attempt to push the local government election to 2025. That is next year. The intendment of the lawmakers when they amended that law, as at the time they made the law, their plan was to push election to 2025. But it was when federal government won case against them that they now quickly did notice of election. You understand? When they were making that law, their plan was to add under that law and do notice of election for 1 year. So it is very clear that the election was not conducted to satisfy the judgment of the court in our case. So that's why I'm saying that we cannot give him kudos because the governor has not complied with the judgment that we have against the state government. Another reason why he has not complied, you might say that after all he has dissolved the TIC. The question you will ask yourself, did he dissolve the TIC immediately after the judgments? He only dissolved TIC when the new council was elected, right? He didn't dissolve TIC after the judgments. He didn't dissolve after High Court. He didn't dissolve after Appeal Court. He went to Supreme Court. So how do you want me to be thanking someone who did not comply with the judgment and who went to the Supreme Court and abandoned the case at the Supreme Court? I'm using my word carefully. He abandoned the case at the Supreme Court. As I'm talking to you, the government is not pursuing the case at the Supreme Court. He abandoned the case there.
What are you getting any enforcement with regards your own judgment? Because I think I remember one of the prayers was that everything the TI is doing is illegal. Every money that is approved to them, they have to pay back to go back to the local government.
How can we enforce a judgment that has been appealed? A judgment is not final until there is no more appeal. The judgment is that the case is at the Supreme Court. The governor appealed to Supreme Court. So it means that the judgment we have at the Court of Appeal, we still have to keep it and hold on and wait for the Supreme Court to make pronouncements. So the reason why we have not been able to enforce the judgment is because the governor appealed to Supreme Court and abandoned the case at the Supreme Court. I use the word abandon carefully because it is the right of a plaintiff or an appellant to pursue his or her case at the court. Do you understand? If you take a case to court and the court has not given you a date to hear you, you should be the one pursuing your case. That this is my case. Please give me a date for hearing. It is your duty to pursue your case so that your case can be listed. Supreme Court has over 5,000 cases, according to the Supreme Court, according to the Chief Justice of the Federation, CJN, Chief Justice of Nigeria. There was a time I was listening to an interview where he was saying that the Supreme Court has over 5,000 cases, and we only have one Supreme Court in Nigeria. So it takes a lot of follow-up to ensure that your case is listed. And for God's sake, this is a case filed by a governor in Nigeria. You know how powerful governors are. This is a case filed by a state governor. This is a case filed by an attorney general of a state. I am telling you the priority the Supreme Court will have given to that case if the appellant has pursued it religiously and sincerely. But because the governor was not interested in that appeal per se, it is just to buy time. It is just to buy time and ensure that we are not able to enforce, because he knows that we will not be able to enforce a case that has been appealed, a judgment that has been appealed. Do you understand? So the appeal to the Supreme Court is a delay tactics and a time-wasting strategy to ensure that we are not able to enforce in good time. Maybe it feels that we will only be able to enforce judgment when he is no more the governor. But whether he is the governor or not, whoever is the governor in the future, the governor of the Kwara State, as at that time, is a judgment debtor. We did not sue Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. We sue the governor of Kwara State. Even if you are the next governor of Kwara State, you will be the judgment debtor. It is the office of the governor that we have sued. So we don't have problem with Malam Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. Even when he is no more the governor, whoever the governor is at that time will enforce our judgment. That's how the thing is. So we are not really worried whether time is counting or not. Whenever the time is right, the governor at that time will enforce the judgment, and all the illegal TIC that has been sacked by the court, they will refund all the money they have collected, because it is a prayer that we have been granted.
Was it granted at the appeal court?
Appeal court granted our prayer for the refund, full refund. Appeal court granted it. So we have success at High Court, we score 100 over 100. We have success at Appeal Court, we score 100 over 100. I say 100 over 100 because all our 7 prayers were granted 7 over 7. So that's 100 over 100. There was no single prayer the court did not grant. You understand? So it was 100 against 0. So at the Supreme Court, if we score 100 over 100 again, it means the TIC, the legal TIC that have been sacked by the court, they must refund. And we are not the one to collect the money from them. It is the governor at that time that will collect the money, that will retrieve the money, recover the money from them. So we are not disturbed about the enforcement of the judgment. It's a function of time.
I think as a lawyer, you know that the case is subject to see and there's...
That's why we are not discussing it.
Exactly.
We are not discussing it. I am only telling you our prayer.
Exactly.
And I am not telling you what will happen in Supreme Court. I am telling you what has already been granted at the High and Appeal Court. I am explaining to you the outcome of the court judgment that has already been delivered. So meaning that there is no subjudice in what we are discussing here.
No, you are a lawyer.
There is no just subjudice anywhere.
Here, you are a lawyer.
We are not preempting whether we will win or not, and we are not preempting, or we are not determining whether the judge will rule in our favor or not. We are only talking about what we have recorded as success in the High and the Appeal Courts.
And then you can get your prize.
And our prayer before the Supreme Court.
Okay, now, sir. You don't know, whenever we hear ENetSud or everything ends in court. And recently you are back to court. First, let me say, local government election. You were not here. You were not here physically, but I'm very sure you were here in mind and fingers, like you were getting information. How would you read? Because, as the white man would say, whatsoever is posing is wrong. Is not doing well. So people have said that no, this is not. The fact that we requested, we advocated for a local government doesn't mean you can do it anyhow. But some people have said, APC have said they won, the PDP have said no, they won, they are putting office. Also, and you, the body, have taken Kwasek to court now.
No,
you have taken the petition to Kwasek that you want to know how much has been spent, how much was released to them, and all that. But I want you to count that.
We are yet to write Kwasek. We are yet to write Kwasek as a body.
But you have written.
But what we did, let me clarify this very well. We have released a press statement. What we did about Kwasek, about local government election, is only press statements.
Okay.
At least even if we write petition and they want to sign it, I can confirm to you that ENetSud as an organization.
I'm not talking about the conduct of the election. I'm talking about now.
Yes, I'm telling you, concerning the funding or the spending of Kwasek on local government election, Our organization, ENetSud, has not written any petition officially against QASEC. That I can tell you for free. The only thing we have done is to release a press statement demanding accountability on how QASEC has spent money.
Okay. Have you gotten any response?
No, we have not written QASEC. We only wrote a press statement published on our page. But as you know, EFCC is our friend. There is nothing we write today on our page that EFCC is not reading. There is no press statement we have that we don't send to EFCC. So writing a press statement and sending to EFCC maybe on WhatsApp does not mean we have written a petition.
So do you want to pursue it to the matter?
No, that one is another thing entirely.
Okay.
We are still going to engage QASEC.
Okay.
Officially, we are still going to write QASEC about the local government election. Our priority now is not about QASEC. Our priority is about the local government fund and local government administration. How local government is spending money. The needs of Kwara community, right? That we have assessed with our need assessment exercise. Then the income and expenditure of local government, the financial aspect of local government administration. Those are our priorities for now. QASEC has done its own and the activity has ended, so to say. So to just put it in a proper context, we have not written any petition against QASEC. Okay. We have commended, we have congratulated those who were declared to have been the winner. And we have demanded accountability on how QASEC has spent the money meant for local government election. But we have not written either ICPC or EFCC against, as in any petition against QASEC. Okay. So if EFCC or ICPC is dealing with QASEC, probably they are acting based on the press statement we have written, and probably they are acting based on their own volition, you understand? Maybe as an anti-corruption agency, they feel like they want to know how you have spent the money allocated to you. That's one they can do even without anybody writing petition. Do you understand? But that does not mean that we will not also still ask QASEC or engage QASEC later to account for how they have spent the money. Right. So, since that clarified, so you were trying to say something, I just tried to correct the impression
conduct of the how did you the conduct?
The conduct of local government election, it's a public knowledge. The election of local government was fraudulently conducted. I am mentioning it again. I will repeat it again.
You are not an agent.
No. Let me tell you. The election was fraudulently conducted. And I will tell you why. We have QASEC as a body. QASEC has electoral officers in each polling unit. And apart from electoral officers, there are also collation officers at the collation centers that will collate the results for the entire ward. Like a ward can have like 20 polling units. The collation officer is to collate the results from different polling units, harmonize them together at the collation center, the ward level, and check the electoral guideline released by QASEC itself. This is not a guideline released by ENetSud. ENetSud is not an electoral body. The guideline is released by QASEC itself before the election. It's on the website of QASEC. You can download it if you want, and it's possible you even have a copy. If you check that guideline, the guideline puts as one of the responsibilities of the electoral officers, of the collation officers, to collect results and declare who the winner is at the collation center. Now, we have so many records. Whatever I am saying is without prejudice to whatever the tribunal will say. I am talking based on what we see, what we saw, and what we have with us as evidence. We have evidences of what? ENetSud members, they are not from Kaduna. ENetSud members are not from Kogi. They are not from Lagos. They are not from Oyo, they are from Kwara. ENetSud members are 100% Kwara that have family houses across communities in Kwara State. Our members that have gone to vote in various polling units that have followed the result to the collation center of the announcements. You know, You can say that maybe someone went to get a paper and someone went to forge a paper or went to make another copy. But the video, the live recording of where the collation officers were making pronouncement of the result they have collated. Like, okay, in this work, I have counted the result as a collation officer, and by the power conferred on me, I hereby declare that this social party, XYZ political party scored 500, ABC political party scored 1,000. In that case, ABC is the highest, scores the highest vote and is declared winner. When you have such evidence of the collation officer duly appointed by Kwasek, and you have someone who says is the chairman of Kwasek going on,
Who says what he is?
okay, who is the chairman of Kwasek, going to declare a result different from what the collation officer has already declared at the ward level. So, is that not a fraudulent practice? The chairman of Kwasek was not in the collation center in 193 wards in Kwara State. It is the collation center officers that collected the result they received from the polling unit, whose result should be genuine between the chairman's result, the one he declared, and the one already declared by the collation center officers. So it is, as in, without respect to whatever the court will say, the tribunal, it is very clear that the result declared by Baba Okanla, the chairman of Kwasek, was fraudulently declared because it was against what the collation officers have declared in the ward that we have evidences of. If you go to ENetSud page on Facebook, we have released some of these videos. We have more than what we have released. We have released some examples, at least to the assertion that the declaration by Baba Okanla was fraudulently made. We have evidences of what where collation officers have announced ABC political party. And Baba Okanla went to announce XYZ political party. Was election conducted twice? Why are we having declaration at the world level different from what Baba Okanla announced? So it is not what Baba Okanla announced at the final stage of announcing that XYZ political party won all the 193 wards. It's not true, based on what everyone saw.
I thank you very much, Prof. But I want you to slide into it. Okay, winners have been declared and they have taken for office. Sir, have you seen any changes? Have you been related with the local government chairman? We know that whenever we have community relations, we say that there are some 1 year that give you information.
Yes.
Are you getting the information now? What is
very well?
The
kind of information we need at local government level, we don't even need 1 year for local government information. The 1 year we use them for the project of the state governments. Do you understand? Because it is in the state government project that we have a lot of corruption. In the local government level, they are using most of their money to pay salaries. The percentage they are using to do projects is just 1%. 1% of the whole local government fund is what they are using to do projects. Over 90% is for salary and overhead. So how should we be disturbing ourselves on 1% of their budget? We cannot be stressing our 1 year. We are using the 1 year for the state government project, where we have a lot of systemic corruption. So, but in terms of whether there is any change that we are talking about, as I said earlier, our priority is to engage each of the local governments. If you follow what we have been doing recently, we have released a report on 2020, 2021. Currently we are releasing a report on 2022 and 2023 on how local government have spent their money in the last 4 years. We started with 2020, and presently we have reached 2023. 2024 is not out because we are still in 2024. They have not finished spending 2024 money. And the normal procedure is that when they finish spending money by December 31st, Accountant General will audit. Auditor General will audit. Do you understand? Then House of Assembly also will receive report. So it is like maybe after July of 2025, before we can get the report of 2024. It is always released in arrears. That's how it works. So the latest year we can have now is 2023. And that's why our report on local government is up to 2023. And if you ask me, where exactly are we going with this report? We have reached a stage now. I am coming from our office to this place. And what we have been doing in our office now is that we have now been preparing our petition to ICPC. Secretary is working on them. It is on Monday I will go to sign them. ICPC and EFCC. We don't want to stress ICPC and EFCC. The financial report of the local government for 1 year can be like 1,300 pages. You know me, the only thing I know how to do is to read. No matter how bulky a document is.
Those are you are scientist and also.
And so the only thing I know how to do is to read. My hobby is to be reading. If I'm not reading, I will be sick. So, despite the bulky nature of those financial reports, I will take the report, so I will read them page by page. I will analyze. So we have finished the analysis. We have helped EFCC and ICPC to analyze for 4 years. By the time we are making our conclusion based on 4 years spending, they will know we are talking based on facts. I think we are just taking 1 year to conclude. It will be like it's just 1 year now, but we have used 4 solid years to analyze the funding of local governments. The way local government administration is in Kwara State. We are now going to write our petition to ICPC and EFCC, and we are going to attach the report of our analysis for the 4 years, 2020 to 2023. And it is now up to them, the ICPC and EFCC, to now investigate the illegal TIC that have been sacked. We want ICPC and EFCC to thoroughly investigate how this illegal TIC that have been sacked, how they have used the local government fund during their period in office. And we are going to continue doing the same thing for those that have been elected that are now in office. And that's why we serve as a warning to those in office now, that anytime they are leaving office also, we are going to do the same for them. That's why we have the hashtag called Kwara LG Funds. That hashtag is to monitor local government funds. That hashtag has come to stay. It is dedicated for local government, 16 local government in Kwara State, to monitor how they receive money and how they spend the money. You understand? As they are spending, we are following them.
Yeah. Well, let me see. There is a local government chairman in one of the most who has said that they have not had access to their funds. The governor has not released funds.
Is he saying it publicly or privately? Publicly.
Yes.
In Kwara State. Which local government is that?
Well,
We have not come across that statement.
he said it.
Maybe I have not come across the statement.
Public knowledge. He said it was asked in an interview. It is not.
And they said the governor has not released it.
They have not had access to. For the first month, probably remember, they were already on the first. They were already crossed the threshold in the first month, and said they have been paid the salaries, but the funds have not been released to them. They did not.
Has not been released by who? By federal government or by state government?
Well, I wouldn't know.
I would like to meet that chairman, because one of our plans, I've not landed. Apart from that, we are writing the ICC and EFCC.
Okay.
One of our decisions now at ENetSud is that we are planning to meet each of the local government council led by their chairman. We don't want to only write petition. You know, if we want to give you problem, we will not give you problem that you will be reading on internet. We will first call your attention to the problem. So, in case you are seeing the problem, you will have known that we have already engaged you. Let me be perambulating. Let me be very straightforward. Our plan now is to summarize the report of each local government. We are presenting 2 things to the local government council: the finances of each local government in the last 4 years, and the needs of communities in each local government. We have done the need assessment across all their communities. We are going to present to them, these are the things that your communities need. In Ilorin West, the communities under you, they need this, they need that. In Barutin, they need this, they need that. We have the report. It is our original report. We are going to hand it over to them without paying a kobo. Free of charge. Something we have spent a lot of money on. It is a community service. We are going to hand over that report to them. Number one, and then we are going to give them the summary of their finances in the last 4 years. And our own is that we are going to write the chairman, each of them, to give us a date that they can host ENetSud for dialogue and presentation. It's now up to them to honor our request to visit them or not. We are not coming to abuse them. We are meeting them for the first time. Since the time they have been elected, we have not gone to visit them. But we don't want to visit them and say congratulations. We are going to engage them based on governance of their local governments. And our discussion with local government chairman will be on two things only: finances of their local governments and the needs of the communities under their local government. Those are the two things ENetSud want to go and discuss with each local government. So we will spend our money to go around the 16 local governments and meet with the local government council.
You know, my fear is that what if we never touch the money? This will be your resident report.
What if they
Never touched the money.
Which money are you
All the
talking?
money you're saying comes to the local government. Are you sure they come with money? Or somebody is...
We are not alleging that they embezzled any money.
I'm not saying that.
We are not.
I'm not saying you are alleging. But if you want to follow corruption, but we have local government involved in council involved. Somebody has said that for 8 months I did not, the money did not come to my...
EFCC has investigative power. ICPC has investigative power. If you are the chairman and I summon you to come and explain, and you are telling me you didn't get the money, then you will tell me who got the money. And I will call the person who got the money. Leave that for EFCC and ICPC. They are experts in doing that. And EFCC and ICPC, NFIU is under them. Right?
Yes, yes.
They can trace where the money went to. And they can summon the person who received the money or the signatory to that account. That one is left for the people who have investigative power and who have prosecutorial power.
Currently,
our own is to make their work easy by analyzing the fund for them, because it is not easy. I know the stress I go to. If I want to analyze a year, if I want to analyze a year, I use 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And I will lock myself in a room, I'll be sweating under AC. Because I'm dealing with documents of 1,200 pages. And these are documents with figures. You must not do any mistake. To be cross-checking figures is not easy. But EFCC will not have time to be doing that. That's why we have done it for them. So they are only just to see the summary reports and invite them for questioning. So we have made their life very easy. That's why we are not rushing.
The national space, we have the hues and cries about the tax reform. There's a part, maybe we are all doing like that's one part of it. The dragons are very tricky for the people. So nobody actually cares about in the thing of things for what it says. Like, how do you think that's for the physical?
The problem I have with Nigeria is that we are only talking about tax reform. We are not talking about revenue mobilization sharing. How can we reshare the revenue? Presently, look at an example. The state governors, they have misled Nigerians to believe that local government has the responsibility to pay teacher salary. If I ask you now, whose responsibility is to pay teacher salary, what will you say? You will say local government. Because, for instance, local government is the one paying primary school teachers, all of the primary school teachers. There is no primary school teacher receiving salary from state government. Take note of that.
Yes,
all of them, they are receiving salary from local governments. There is no junior secondary school teacher in Kwara State that is receiving salary from the state government. They are receiving from local government. The state government is only paying salary for senior secondary school. It means that the burden of salary payment for teachers in Kwara State is mostly on local government. But go to the first schedule of the Constitution. The first schedule of the Constitution divided responsibility of local government into two. The first one is the main responsibility. You know the meaning of main? Primary. That is part A. Part B, item A. Item B is talking about orders. You know, when you say orders, it means that one is like secondary. The main, if you go to the main, you will never see anywhere under the main function of the local government that the Constitution has said that the local government is responsible for education and health. Education and health are not primary responsibility of local government. I'm telling you authoritatively. And that's why I'm referring you to the 4th schedule of the Constitution, where the function of local government is enumerated.
But we have primary.
No, wait. I am coming there. You understand? Where the Constitution has attributed education and health partly to the local government is under item B, where it says that local governments can contribute to the government of the state for the provision of education. Contribute. Look at the word contributes. Contribution is like participation. Do you understand? It's like you have a wife in your house. You are the head of the family. Then it is allowed that your wife can contribute to the education of your children.
It's not a civic responsibility.
And you have now said that you should be your wife should be the one paying school fees. Your wife should be the one buying uniform, doing everything for education. Your wife is to contribute. You are the head. It's like every time you don't have money to pay school fees, your wife can say, okay, daddy, let me pay this one this time around, since you are broke. That's a contribution. But the state governments, the state governors across Nigeria, you know this Nigerian Governors Forum, they teach themselves nonsense in that forum. They have taught themselves this nonsense. And that's why governments have now made local government salary teachers payments the responsibility of local governments against the constitutional provision that says they should contribute. Someone that should be contributing, why should that person be the 100% responsible for salary? That's why.
Is there any provision of the Constitution that says that the state government has to take salary?
Constitution doesn't talk in full. Constitution is a grand norm. Constitution says the state government, the education and health is state duty. Local government should contribute.
Okay.
That's why the Constitution says part of the responsibility of local government is to contribute to the government of the state for the provision of education and health. I have referred you to that section. You can check it. Do you understand? And if you go and look at the UBE Act, the Universal Basic Education Act, you will never see anywhere that has said that state government, local government should be the one to pay salary. Look at the suburb law in Kwara State, the UBE law in the state, the state Universal Basic Education law of the Kwara State. You will never see any part of that law that says that local government is the one to be paying salary. The state government just mobilized salary to local governments because local government has been silent for years. You will not see any legal instrument backing up the responsibility of salaries for local government, for teachers and health workers. You will not see. You will not see. In some states, the local government only pay primary school teachers. The state government pay junior and senior secondary schools. In Kwara, it is worse. Local government is paying primary and junior secondary. It is because the state government have just shifted liability off their own neck and put it on local government neck so that they cannot breathe again.
I think the culture of local government paying the junior secondary school started in 2006.
So was the constitution changed?
I'm not.
How did it happen? I'm just telling you, governors.
What I want to say is we have had 3 governors there.
That is
none of them are saying.
Because the successive governors find it enjoyable. If state government is to be paying salary of teachers and health workers, it will be gulping a lot of money from their wage bill. Because they want to have a lot of money for the state. That's why they shifted the big responsibility to the local government against the constitutional provision. Do you understand? State government don't want local autonomy because they don't want the local government to be freed from this nonsense that we are talking about. I am telling you, it varies. I said for you to see some state paying junior secondary school and senior secondary school, while Kwara is paying, while in Kwara State, local government is paying junior secondary school and primary school. It shows that it is just internal arrangement that the governors have used to be using local government funds to be paying teachers. The same thing for the health workers. So that's why we are talking about this autonomy now. What we expect the House of Assembly to do now is to make law that will address this problem. The State House of Assembly should be the one to make law that will define the nature of contribution that the local government should be paying, should be making to be assisting the state government.
Okay.
But the idea of this
in clear terms.
In clear terms, there is no any law now that has really defined how state and local government should be relating on health and education.
Government have never, they never started.
Putting the candidate there.
No.
Can they talk?
We had an election.
And okay, the election. Why did Okola go to announce 193 people in one political party against what the people voted for?
Anything against announcements, we can go to.
And that's why the tribunal is there. Those people who are interested in that, they are doing that. We are not interested. We are not a party in the election. We cannot go to tribunal because we did not contest election. We are not a political party. We do not sponsor candidates. We don't have local standard to go to tribunal. Do you understand? The only thing we can do is to be talking the way we are talking now. To be sensitizing the public the way you are sensitizing.
You are saying that from your own point of view, it's not free and fair.
It is not. The evidence is there. Go to our Facebook page. You will see a lot of videos. Okay, let the Kwase come out that those people who are talking on the video are declaring is what amidst electorate. Let Kwase come and deny those electoral officers. I will withdraw my statement if Kwase comes out and deny that the people, the Kwase officials announcing results in the collation centers, they are not Kwase officials. Let them come out and deny them. Then I will withdraw my statement and I will make public apology. They will not, because they know they are the electoral officers they employed to do the election, to announce at the ward level.
Prof, I want to know your ideal local government autonomy. Because I think you're saying local government autonomy from different. So what is your ideal local government autonomy?
Ideal local government autonomy. Let local government do their things. The way state government is doing its thing. Very simple. We don't need to speak too much English. The way looks okay. Recently, state government made an advert that it wants to employ teachers for local governments. Does that make sense? I am a father. Let's assume you are my father. I am your child. I have one wife. It is only one wife I can cater for. I don't have capacity for mercenary. My salary is 50,000 naira in a month. I can only take care of one wife. And you are my father. You are telling me that in our generation, no one has ever married one wife. In our family house, we used to marry 4 wives. I must marry another wife for you. You are not the one to take care of my wife. You are not the one to give them money. You are not the one to take care of their responsibilities. And you are forcing another wife on me. What I have described now is the way the state government has been imposing staff on local government. You are recruiting teachers for local government schools. And you will not use your own 1 kobo to pay the salary of people you are recruiting. Does that make any sense? I am saying it proudly now. The government is not paying 1 naira to contribute to the salary of subeb teachers in primary and junior secondary school. It's a public knowledge. Let them come out and deny this. So how can you hire who you will not pay? You can't hire who you will not pay. In that event, based on your budget, can you overemploy?
No.
You will employ based on your capacity. Do you understand?
The local government have not said it. They never say
it is because they have not been able to. The autonomy is just coming. Do you understand? You will not see them talking now because who are they to talk? Who are they to talk? It is that autonomy that we are fighting for. We are shouting under AC now because we are fighting for autonomy for them. And because the autonomy will favor all of us, because we are the ones suffering from the lack of autonomy of local government.
But I want to push this to you. In 2019, your organization you fought for the FYP. Nigeria, I mean, for the domestication of Congo to make sure Joe got to the governor. You standard and ruling branch, you stand social auditor. So now, it's here.
Therefore, I not passed. You see, in democracy, we will all have peace of mind if all of us know the limit of our power. ENetSud is a civil society organization with advocacy power. The power we have is to advocate. The power we have is to lead campaign, to solicit, to mobilize citizens. The power we have is to make our opinion known. That's why as I'm talking now, nobody can come and arrest me. That why are you saying this? They cannot arrest me now. We'll meet in court if they arrest me. You understand?
No, I'm afraid you're a lawyer, so
no.
I cannot say anything.
No, the point is that the freedom of expression is constitutionally guaranteed. I am exercising my constitutional rights by expressing what I'm saying. As long as what I'm saying is not damaging, is not blackmailing anybody. Even if anyone feels what I'm saying is blackmailing him or her, as long as I can prove what I'm saying in court, he should sue me for libel or slander now. You understand? No, I'm just making that point. Assuming anyone feels that what I'm saying is blackmailing him or her, the best you can do is to sue me. And I will prove what I'm saying with evidence. Right? But because you allege must prove. That's what the law says. If I allege you that you did an election, you announced fraudulently, I have my proof to prove that you have announced fraudulently.
You have a special bone concept.
No, because the problem is that they have truncated the democracy everyone is expecting. We are fighting for true local government administration. You don't know the meaning of this thing. It's like, how will it be that this thing I can link it to maybe people have elected a democratically elected government, and someone went to hijack that government and impose another person. That is the way I can relate it with. These things like abracadabra, as in people, the franchise of people. You understand? I mean, I don't just know how our laws are in Nigeria. Sometimes it can look criminal sometimes. That the mandate of the people, you have just single-handedly, you have swapped it somehow. Yes.
Can we go to the FOI?
Now, for the FOI, the point I was trying to make there is that ENetSud only has the power of advocacy. We don't have legislative power. Let's get this very clear. The highest we can do is to keep advocating. Right? And that was what everybody knew us with. We championed the FOI. We pushed it to the level that it was passed by the assembly led by Right Honorable Ali Ahmed. It was only waiting for governor's assent. And governor in his wisdom, Madam Abraham Abrazak, said he wants 7 days to be changed to 14 days. He wants all for fine to be changed to and. Those are the two things. And the government has no legislative power also. He can only sign. He has the power of assent. Even if there is a need to remove comma, he doesn't have the power to remove it. That's how democracy has been structured, check and balance. The government cannot remove comma. The government is only empowered to tell the assembly, please help me remove this clause or comma. Then after removing, then I can sign. That's how it works. The government cannot say, oh, CPS, say, go and type it again. Remove comma and let me sign. No. As simple as comma is, you cannot tell the secretary to go and remove it before he signs. Do you understand? It is the assembly that made that law. That's to remove that comma. So for people to understand how democracy works. Now, the assembly has received the request from the governor to change this and or to and 7 to 14. And since 2019, they have kept it under the carpet. They have refused to pass the law.
Have you consulted
very well with the assembly? Very well. The speaker may be hearing me wherever he is. We have discussed, we have engaged severally on this FOI issue.
Did they ever tell you what?
Even there was a time the speaker himself, when ASCOM or which group went to meet him, he told them publicly that FOI to be passed on. That was around 2019. It's told to be passed soon. They ended that law. They did the re-election again. So they are not able to give any reason to anybody why they did not pass it. So that means they are misusing their legislative power to kill the bill that people have been yearning for. So the highest we can do is to keep talking about it. But there is nothing we can do. We cannot take a gun and put on their head and say, oh yeah, pass this law. We cannot. Do you understand? The highest we can do is to keep talking about it.
Utilizing the house, apart from the speaker, maybe other members.
Other members of the House of Assembly. The House of Assembly members, they are our brothers. They are not from Kano. They are not from Kaduna. They are from Kwara. They are our brothers. They are our friends. They are our sisters. We engage them, but none of them has any answer as to why they are not passing. Because this is an House of Assembly that only made a single new law for 4 years. That's Kwara Commission Bill. The only new law made by the Ninth Assembly was Kwara Commission Bill, Kwara Sports Commission Bill. The other 3 or 4 laws, they were amendments of existing law, like Kwasu, changing it from Abubakar Saraki to Kwasu, changing the education bill, Kwara local government bill, just changing the name of one office, maybe one director to be Kenekan. Just an amendment. The real new law made was the Kwara Sport Commission.
Are you saying the Ninth Assembly in real sense did not pass the law?
That's what I'm telling you. Apart from the Kwara Sport Commission bill and the 3 or 4 other amendments, all the laws passed by the Ninth Assembly they were executive bill from the governor. They had no initiative of their own. I'm saying it on public, it is the truth. The only initiative of their own they had was that Sport Commission bill. All other bills passed by them, the new laws passed by them, they were executive bill from Governor Abraham Abrazak.
Okay, you're talking about.
Don't forget, ENetSud has this hashtag called Kwara Bill Tracker.
Yes.
So with the bills they make. So whatever statement I make here is something I can defend anywhere.
But you're talking about the 9th Assembly, but the 10th Assembly.
Is the zero so far. Since the time the 10th Assembly have been inaugurated, they have not passed a single bill initiated by them. Any bill they have passed so far is executive bill. I'm saying it publicly. You should be, this is a live program. That assembly is zero. They have not passed any. They have not initiated any bill that they have passed by themselves. It is zero. You understand? Next assembly is only 1 new bill and 3 or 4 other. I think it is 4 other amendment bills, partial amendments.
Prof,
are you getting it?
Prof, you see?
So I'm very clear about what I'm saying, and it's because we have Kwara Bill Tracker we are using to track the assembly legislative function. So there is no angle you go that we don't have an hashtag we are using to monitor.
Prof.
Yes.
Whenever you are around, there's always a fair. There's always a fair. You see now, I'm confused as to next thing to ask, because if I give you some people, like you can throw it, you can even throw it to. I thought on the caveat, there was a time the Kwara governor has already known to see nothing like.
Yes.
To see the state government, I mean the youth branch, has done its bit, send the FYB to the house. And the governor said, it is not my fault. So, and there was a time state government, the executive branch of the government said, come, let us extend another branch to the assembly.
Passes the FY.
Then we have a social. You did that.
Yes.
You saw how it was.
Yes.
You say that the governor, is that the
well, you see, on social audit, it is very simple. ENetSud accepted social audit from the governor because we felt the proposal to come up with social audit was in good faith, and we accepted it also in good faith. CSOs and opposition, partisan opposition, there is a thin line between CSO and opposition.
Okay.
If you are a CSO and you know your onions and you want to maintain your credibility and you want to be known that you are not partisan or you are not an opposition, you don't have to do things in the way of opposition. We accepted social audit from the government because we didn't want to behave like opposition or labor union. You know, it is labor union that will say, no, this is what we want. Not even labor union go on negotiation.
Yes.
When they are negotiating for minimum wage. You cannot say that, government, this is what we want as a CSO, and insisting that if you don't do it, nothing will happen. There should be a room for dialogue. There should be a room to give the government an opportunity to express their own view also. We were pushing for FY fine, but when the government came up with the idea of social audits, we had the duty to accept it. The only thing the government cannot do, and was not able to do, is to tell us how we will do the social audit. The power to do it in our own way is ours. We accepted social audit and we did it in our own way, but our own way did not align with the government's way. That's why it ended.
But now, would you say that have you been able to, apart from your run years, have you been as the governor will forthcoming in getting information?
We are not requesting any government and any document from the governor again or from the government.
Yeah.
We are getting our document in our own way through our 1 years. Our 1 years are doing very well, very, 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 very well.
Would you say
we have packs of projects we have not tracked now in the office, that we have our documents that we have not tracked electronically, hard copies. You understand? So we have a lot of projects we have not tracked that we have their documents with us. So we have our own way of getting our documents. So we are not relying on the arrangement of social audit with the government, because the government has terminated social audit. So we are getting our documents in our own way. But it doesn't mean that we are not going to still continue talking about the need to have FOI. But as I've said, our power stops with advocacy. We don't have legislative power. We can continue singing and talking and talking. If the assembly does not want to pass it, there is nothing we can do. Are you getting the point? So we have to let people know the limitation of our power.
Aha. Thank you very much. I think that is a very valuable place to leave it. And go on and on. You see, talk on and on with us. Most of that. Overall, I would say that since election started, I think around 2018,
thereabouts, yes.
To the election is obviously an absolute name in Kwara. Everybody knows ENetSud. You've been accused of being a member of the opposition by the PDP.
Okay.
You have found to be accused of a member of opposition by the APC, which puts you in the middle of things. How would you how would you describe the environment for the environment for sustainers of ENetSud from one performance?
ENetSud, as in the context of Kwara State, I can say that Kwara State has continued to be the state of harmony that we have known it to be. People do say that activists they don't find it easy with government. Government can kidnap activists, government can send talk to activists. I can tell you categorically, since the time we started ENetSud up to this time, we have not had any security threat, maybe against our member or against the organization as a whole. We have not had any situation whereby any of the ENetSud member will be kidnapped, or will be prosecuted by the government, or will be launched or lynched by any thug or whatever. The peace that we have been enjoying in Kwara, we pray that we'll continue to enjoy it. So Kwara is a state of harmony, so we give thanks to the previous government and the current government. I think the peace, the harmony we have in Kwara is a legacy that should be allowed to continue. So the successive governments have been operating, they have been drawing the lines, they have been operating as a government, and we have been operating as a CSO. The reason why we have continued to exist and we are continuing to be waxing stronger is because whatever we say against the government, even if the government is hearing what I've been saying since morning, or if the speaker is hearing what I've been saying since morning, they will just hear it and laugh again. There is nothing like maybe one thug is coming to my house to arrest me, or police is arresting me for whatever I've said. I think that one is something we have seen in Kwara and we continue to enjoy. And I believe whatever we say, no matter how it sounds to their hearing, no matter how bad they feel, I believe they will pick the good part of it and use it to improve their government. But if they do it well, they are the one to take the credit. We are not the one to take the credit. If they do it well, people will say, hey, Rahman is Sheda, hey, Dala is Sheda. They are not still going to say Alagbonsi is Sheda. So it is their credit that it will be at the end of the day. So generally, I think ENetSud is appreciative of the peaceful environment we are enjoying in Kwara.
But I want to say you are doing CSO in the northern part of Nigeria. It's not the norm here. And it has been very successful to Magic, and everybody knows ENetSud, and you have always maintained and stand for with people. Do you have the plan of extending your messages to other things?
Well, I do say, I say it jokingly, but people should believe that it is not, should understand that it's not a joke. I am from Kwara, I'm not from Kaduna. I'm not from Osun. I'm not from Oyo, I'm not from Lagos. My family house is in Okekere in Alagbonsi. My house does not need geography or map reading. If you get to Alagbonsi in Okekere now, and you are saying you're asking for Alagbonsi, they will say, oh, that Okekere in Lewawa is on the main road, opposite Ansar Islam Primary School. So it is very, there is no ENetSud member that is not a Kwara. One of the criteria to join ENetSud is that it must be a Kwara. It's a Kwara-based organization. And our interest is to see how we can fight systemic corruption in Kwara, promote transparency and accountability. So the question is that, have we finished fighting corruption in Kwara? So what are we going to another state to do? We don't have this doctrine or thinking that we want to be a national CSO. We don't want to be popular throughout Nigeria. We want to remain local and be impactful locally. Because if we have not finished solving the problem of Kwara, what are we going to do in Kaduna or in Lagos? We have not even finished solving the problem of corruption we have in this Kwara state. What is driving us to another state? So the more we are distracted to other states, the less we will be having impact. So for us, our primary responsibility is to solve the problem of Kwara. We are not really wrongly. Even though people have been coming up with that suggestions, even some of our members have been coming up with that idea, even some of our executives are bringing up that idea, but ENetSud as of today, we don't have any agreement or consensus among us as an organization to extend beyond Kwara, because we believe that the problem of Kwara has not been completely solved.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I think it's a very thank you very much. That's a very educating help when you have Prof on that chair. So it's always going to be fire. Thank you very much. I hope when next you come, inshallah, you feel be able to.
Inshallah, by God's grace.
It's very better atmosphere.
By God's grace.
Thank you very much, Abdulkadir. I remember saying Coodinator once again. See you next week.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, sir.